Alright, update on SLP. So, in our last Smooth Love Potion video, we were talking about the next breakdown that we were soon to initiate, and I did just want to give you a quick update letting you know that this is starting to happen on the 4-hourly time frame. We are falling below the EMA ribbons. I'm going to talk about the technicals and the market structure first, and then we'll move over to the oscillators and some of our momentum indicators. So, there's definitely two different ways you can draw this. Number one, which is how I prefer, this is how I originally had it drawn, is you've got a bearish pennant, I was about to say bear flag, you've got a bearish pennant breakdown for the pole, and as you can see we were bouncing around in this range consolidating. And what we did do is we broke to the upside on this. We held multiple 4-hourly candle body closes above it, and this is where you would have wanted to see a back test and a breakout. We didn't see that. Instead, what we saw was a consolidation, a failed move, and as I always say on my channel, a failed move equals a fast move in the opposite direction. What does that mean? We had a fake out, and now we should soon witness a big move back down to the downside. Now, this can work out in both ways. For example, if you're in this bearish pennant, you can see something like this, and if you have a fake out and then you move back into the channel, you're very likely to start breaking up bullish. But the fact of the matter is, we broke above this, and now we're very likely to start heading in this direction. There's also a different way you can draw this. If you want to be slightly more conservative, what you can actually draw is this, and this would be more of a bear flag, and then you could say we never had the failed move, so it wouldn't be as bearish. But unfortunately, to the downside, there's really no way that you can draw this to say that it wouldn't have had a failed move. I mean, if you look at this, all of the data points, you know, here, and here, were all over here, and you broke down, back tested it, and then continued the capitulation. So there is really no other way that you can draw this to say that we are still in the bullish structure of the bearish breakdown. You can say, you know, something like, you know, as long as we stay above these levels on top of our Fibonacci levels, but I just don't think that that would be working, considering how Bitcoin is solidifying a macro rejection from the 4-hourly EMA ribbons. We've made a rounding top, and now we're starting to head down. Bitcoin's momentum indicators such as the squeeze mom and the MACD are all flipping extremely bearish, and we're getting an okay amount of volume coming in. Bear in mind, I'm looking at this on Bitstamp. If we checked out some other exchanges, it'd be a lot higher, but nonetheless, SLP is not really looking too good right now, not looking hot. The MFI, which is the money flow indicator, basically had a very harsh double top right here, and we actually kind of topped out 3 times, but you know, once we came all the way up to 80, you can talk about here and here. So we had a very solid double top while we were breaking up from this bearish pennant, and this should obviously be indicative that we're about to start flowing down, and this is what we're seeing. 4-hourly MFI is massively heading to the downside. Money is flowing out of the market, and subsequently, if we look at the daily time frame for the MFI, you can see we've only really started to break down, and we're very oversold. What does this mean for the MFI? A lot of money flew into SLP while we were trending upwards in the shorter time frames, forming this bearish pennant, and subsequently in the higher time frames we are very extended. We've also just solidified another rounding top slash rejection from the daily EMA ribbons. Now if we zoom out, you can see bearish rejection from the EMA ribbons, and we're starting a breakdown. If we look at this, we had a rejection from the EMA ribbons and a breakdown. If we zoom back further, we didn't actually quite make it, but we almost made it. And then we had a bunch of fake outs here when we were trading in some massive pattern. But as a, you know, as a rule of thumb, you can see every single time we come up to the daily EMA ribbons, we subsequently solidify a pretty nasty breakdown to the downside. So it seems like we're breaking down, in my opinion. I think there's no other way to say it. You know, we just keep breaking down, forming bearish pennant, breakdown, bearish pennant. And as you can imagine, I do think we're coming back down to at least sweep the lows. But more specifically, my next price target is actually down here at 0.00224 cent. We were predicting this price target since around about the 22nd of May when we were at 0.005. We were predicting a 57% drop. At this moment in time, since the last prediction, we are 24% down, which is nice. But I did also update you in my last video. So this was 2 videos ago we were calling for this. In the last video, I was telling you about this this bearish pennant, and now we're subsequently flipping to the downside. So this is my first price target, your 1.618 Fibonacci. When we do zoom out, you can see this is a macro fib from the low to the high, or should I say midterm fib. 1.618 down here, 0.00224, and then your 3.618 from this Fibonacci Actually, no, it's not from this Fibonacci. It is from your 2.618 is right here. This is your 1.618 from this low to this high, and then your 3.618 is from this low to this high. So the original 1.6 is actually from here, here to here. So with that being said, the next levels down, like I said, 0.00223, and down here 0.00115. So that is basically what I've got. It looks like we're about to continue with this breakdown that we were predicting, a 72% drop before I think the macro momentum could be subsiding for Smooth Love Potion. If we look at the momentum indicators, they basically agree with my analysis. You can see the squeeze mom. Let's start off on the higher time frames and we'll work our way down. The daily squeeze mom is basically very, very stagnant right now, and this is because we've been forming these patterns for quite a long period in time, and subsequently there's not been a lot of volatility to the upside or the downside, so we're really getting ready for that next major move. There's not too much to see on the squeeze mom. We're basically at the heart line about to make a decision. The daily MACD has been heading up while we were in this bearish pennant, but now as we are breaking down and starting to lose momentum for the past couple of days, you can see this is starting to head down, and it looks like we're about to see another bearish flip. If we do see a bearish flip, this would be another lower high from here, lower high from here, and lower high from here. So you can see every time we have these bullish flips, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker over on the MACD, and I'm subsequently expecting, just like this low was lower and this low was lower, I'm expecting the next MACD low to be a lot lower. Let's finish off on the OBV, the on balance volume, similar to the MFI. You can see this has been massively capitulating, and the on balance volume for Smooth Love Potion is heading to the downside. So it seems like no matter what you're looking at, if you're looking at the EMA ribbons, moving averages, if you're looking at the market structure, if you're looking at TA patterns, or if you're looking at oscillators / momentum indicators, everything points to lower prices, and that's without mentioning that Bitcoin looks like it wants to head down to lower price targets, and its momentum indicators and volume also back that up. And if we briefly touch on the stock market, the SPY is heading down very harshly on the daily. The NASDAQ is heading very, very harshly to the downside as well. And when we do look at the dollar's forming a bull flag, and we're heading massively to the upside today. So a lot of bearish signals coming in. The dollar looks very strong. Stock market looks very weak. Subsequently, as we can expect, that correlates to a weak Bitcoin. And as all of these altcoins are highly correlated to Bitcoin, this is why we should subsequently expect another move to the downside very, very soon for SLP. So once again, 225 and 116, this would be respectively about another 45 and 72% drop from where we are right now. That is all I've got for you for SLP. I hope you found some value in today's video. I do think at some point in time I would be looking to DCA, and when I say DCA SLP, what I mean is I'd be looking to make a short-term position where I'd be buying the dip and hoping that we do have a very, very nice bounce. I don't have a target for that at this moment in time. I'm really keeping my eyes on Bitcoin. I'm keeping my eyes on the economy, and when it does look like we are starting to liven up, SLP is definitely going to be one of the ones that I do have my eyes on, mainly because it is so volatile. I'm not looking to trade it because I'm a massive fan of the Axie ecosystem. I'm looking to trade it because it's got a dirt cheap market cap compared to a lot of other hyped up altcoins, and I just do think, you know, this is going to be extremely volatile. I don't think this is going to be a good long-term hold. If you read the Axie white paper, you understand why. This is a hyperinflationary token. The more people in the Axie ecosystem, the higher this token is going to get inflated. This is a utility token for the Axie ecosystem. It is not a value proposition token that I think people should be holding for the long term. That being said though, at some point in time, this is going to be a good trade. I will be letting you know when I do plan on trading it, but just like for the past couple of videos, we've been predicting lower price targets and they've all been panning out. There is nothing different with the prediction that we were making over here to what we're now predicting over here. So I can imagine in the next couple of weeks, I'll be making a price prediction. We probably would have done something like this, break down, form another bearish pennant, something along these lines, and I'll be updating you when I'm getting ready for the next move. But until then, 225, 116, that is where I've got my eyes on. As always, Cowboy out. Peace.